This video is brought to you by Fury Arcade. Also, you can now easily book your next coaching session or one of the other coaching services available in the link in the description below. So, as I said, I want to make a tutorial about Hashogeki because it is updated, it is buffed, it is changed. Multiple Hashogeki versions were changed in the last update, in season 2, I mean, and Ryu has become a better character because of them. So I think it is I definitely have to make an update on the use cases of Hashogeki. Every single version of them. There is the light one, there is the medium one, there is the heavy one, and then there is the Denjin Charge heavy one, and then there is the Denjin Charge EX one. So these are the 5 versions. When do you actually use every single one of them? And what are the tricks that you can use for them? So right out of the bat, I would say that the most useful Hashogeki right now is the light one. The light one is extremely useful right now for Ryu. It is such a powerful tool, and it can mix people up. It can definitely be part of your mix-up, with this, and it just mixes people up, even at very high level. Very high level, people still get mixed up with this. The reason why this is so good is because right now it is safe on block. Back then it used to be -4 on block, but now it is -3 on block, right? And because this game has parries, has perfect parries, so every time your turn ends and you're right in front of the opponent like this, there is always the threat of parries, right? So every time you end your block string like this, your opponent has to think of the perfect parry afterwards there, because you might perfect parry the next attack. Because normally what happens is once your turn ends, your opponent will try to take their turn. They'll try to press a button. They'll try to press light punch, medium punch, whatever, right? So if you are really good at parrying the following attack, you will be able to take the opponent's turn. You'll be able to steal their turn using a perfect parry. So this is why this is very powerful, right? And you can always do the setup with the light Tatsu dash up, and then you do this, which will on hit to be +7. So then you can also get a Denjin Charge this way. This is a combo, right, with Denjin Charge. Or you can do something like this, and then you get the light kick, and you get corner carry instead. So it's very useful. And on block, this setup was there before season 2. Got added a little bit before season 2, where if you do this, right, this will be +2 on block, right? So now even if the opponent presses something over here, if he wakes up or on block, let's say on block, and he blocks one hit and he presses something right immediately afterwards, you see that you get a counter hit, right? So this is very powerful for you. And I would suggest from my experience, right, you should not go for the light punch in this scenario. If you're doing this and you get the light punch, you should not go for the light punch over here, because you can get something better. You can do this and then go for the crouching light punch. If you just crouching light kick, if you time it correctly. I just did not time it correctly right there. Look at this. You see this? This works really well because the light kick, the crouching light kick, is much more useful in this scenario, because if the opponent mashes a light punch, you will still be 1 frame ahead of him, and the crouching light kick will come out faster than his light punch, which is the fastest button that he can do. And you will get a counter hit in case he mashes, right? In case he walks back anticipating the grab, because sometimes what people will do is because they're so afraid of you grabbing after this, sometimes you can do something like this and you can grab, right? So people will try to walk back hoping that the grab might actually whiff. So when you do this, you can catch them while they're walking back, right? If we have the opponent here, block high, even if they're not walking back, they just did not block low. Let's say that they always blocked what is it called? How can you do it? Yeah, block standing only, right? See, this way you can loop this a little bit, right? You can always do this, boom. You see that you have to dash up and then do it. Oh man, I can't execute stuff right now. And you see what I mean, right? So this is something that is very useful that you can do, and you can catch people off guard, and then they will question their next option. What should they do? This is a simple mix-up with this, and the crouching light kick works really well in this case. Better than the light punch, in my opinion. It is better than the light punch, because it will catch people bashing and it will catch people walking back, you know. And next time around, instead of you going for this, you can go for the grab. So if this happens, right, you can go for the grab because now they don't want to walk back anymore, right? So you can go for the grab. So that could be really good. And the third time, maybe you can go for a shimmy, neutral jump, or something of that sort. So all of these are like really good options from this mix-up, and it just makes the light Hashogeki really well in offense. In offense, it makes it really good, right? The only way that you can defeat that is basically by perfect parries or reversals, like invincible reversals, right? So that is one good thing about light Hashogeki. The next thing is, even when you do, as I said in the beginning, like, you know, the perfect parry after your turn has ended, if we have the count over here as 2 and he responds to the light punch, and we have him block everything, just have to practice this, and then you can get a free, you know, this way. And if you condition people this way, if you do this every single time and you condition them that you're always gonna perfect parry, guess what they're gonna do? They're not gonna try to take their turn. So what does that leave us with? So if you're doing this and you're always perfect parry consistently, I'm just really rusty right now, but you know what? If you're always doing this, right, next time around they're not gonna take their turn. So next time around, you know what will happen is you're gonna do this, and then they're not gonna press anything. So what are you gonna do is you're gonna walk up and grab, right? You don't even, sometimes in some ranges you don't have to walk up and grab. You don't have to walk up and grab. You just have to like press grab immediately and it happens, right? So that's also one benefit of this. But you have to condition people to this first with the perfect parry, and then they will stop it. They will stop trying to perfect parry. They'll stop trying to like take their turn after the light Hashogeki, and then you can grab them. Sometimes what you can do is also you can do something like this, and then because they don't press anything, you can go ahead and then do another block string like this, right? But not immediately. I would just delay the button, the next block string. I'll just delay it for a few frames in case they press something, right? So in case they press something like this, we can practice this by doing you know, 3 hits delayed by maybe 4 frames, like a delayed button, and the next time around he's gonna do the, what is it called, the light punch again, but in the first frame, or like without any kind of delay. Like this is without any kind of delay, right? Okay, it will work if he delays the light punch more, maybe like 6-7 frames. Say 7 frames. See that, you know, maybe if it is a little bit late, I'm trying to replicate what happens in a match. You see that? You get a counter hit if he tries to delay his button so much, because he's afraid of the perfect parry, right? You see that? You get something like this. This happens a lot of the times. If you are able to like block a little bit and then for a couple of frames and then press a light punch to like trying to steal their turn, because they're already so afraid of the perfect parry, they're not pressing anything, right? So you might get a counter hit like that. You might be able to just like do another block string, or you might be able to walk up and grab. So that's also like one really good benefit of Light Hashogeki. The other benefit is that it is safe on block, so it's really good to always end your block strings with. So if you're doing something like this, you know, if you're just doing something like this is a really good block string with Light Hashogeki. You know, the nice thing about this even is that sometimes some buttons, okay, if you use like heavy punch into this is safe on block, right? This is safe on block, and it's a true block string. Look at this. Look at the yellow bar. This is the block stun. There is no gap in between, which means that the opponent cannot press perfect parry, cannot do drive impact, cannot do EXTB, cannot do anything. He has to take this, right? And it chips a lot of dry meter also. This is also one of the buffs that they gave him. So look at this. It's almost 1 bar that is taken from this, and it's literally nothing, and they cannot interrupt it. So if they block this. This will be really good. The other thing is that you can catch them while they're pressing a button. So if, for example, if they press light punch like this, and we said that after three hits, right? So if they're in the corner, by the way, this combo only works if the opponent is crouching, right? So if he's blocking low, hold up, just have him crouch like this. Right, and then he presses a light punch in between, like the 3rd hit. Guess what will happen? See all of this? It's all of this is because, you know, he pressed light punch, and the reason why this is happening is because this. Wait, if I just stop this for a bit. This block string has a 2-frame gap at the end, so it's not a 4-frame gap. If it was a 4-frame gap, this whole plan would actually like fall down. So because it's 2 frames gap, if the opponent presses anything, because everybody is so accustomed to pressing light punches in like long block strings because they think that long block strings are not safe. This game has a lot of unsafe block strings, a lot of block strings with big gaps. So they think that he blocked 3 light punches, so for sure it's not Ryu's turn, he can interrupt it. So whenever he tries to interrupt it, he's not gonna have enough time. He's gonna have only 2 frames, and he requires 4 frames to get the light punch, right? He requires a 4-frame gap to get the light punch. But because there's only 2 frames gap, we get the counter hit, and we can get that beautiful, you know, animation. And then you can even get like a safe jump from this. Look at that. And if it's in mid screen, you can get a. Sorry. Oh man. Wow. Okay. You can get a Tatsu like that, and then you can get corner carry. So this is also very good. So this is one of the benefits of this. And if that block string did not have any kind of gaps in it, this would not have worked. This is also something that's very nice about Light Hashogeki. The last thing that we're gonna talk about Light Hashogeki is the baits. So Light Hashogeki is a good bait for like fireballs, right? So if the opponent is trying to like perfect parry the fireballs and stuff, and we are there. Sorry. We can do something of this sort, right? You can bait him this way because he thinks that whenever he sees the blue orb, he will think that it's a fireball. So you're just gonna, you know, but it's not gonna be a fireball. It's just gonna be a Hashogeki, light one, and you will be able to recover and either walk up and grab, or you know, try rush and grab. And this is better in this season because they extended the period where you can actually like grab and miss parry in this season, in season 2. So this is also very good, and it allows Ryu to have like a fake fireball. Some of the top high level players, they will not get baited by this. They will see, because they're trying to perfect parry the fireballs, right? So they will wait for the fireball to actually reach there. So if it's a fake fireball, there is no reason for them to parry, which is one of the weaknesses of this. But you know, overall it does work. Sometimes you can catch people off guard with this, right? And there is also another thing, because sometimes people what they will do is they will parry, right? They will parry this, and then they will do like they will drive rush out of the parry instead of just parrying or tapping parry. So what you can do is you can try to bait it if I can time it correctly. You see that you can actually check the drive rush this way. This can happen, right? It becomes like a little mini game because people, they know that you're gonna try to drive rush after the Hashogeki and grab their parry, right? So they're gonna try to drive rush and light punch you and hit you while you try to drive rush, right? So that happens a lot. So the counter to this is to not drive rush. If you see the opponent is doing this, do not drive rush. Wait and try to check the drive rush. Their drive rush. So it becomes like a little mini game that happens in matches, and it happens often. And you can get like an interaction, and this could be like a winning interaction for you. This is one of the really good things about Hashogeki. The other thing is that also, if we can, you can actually make this whiff in block strings, and I use this a lot of the times because it's really, really good. So if you have here, if you use drive parry as a response for blocking, let's say 2 hits, right? Let's say 2 hits, and let's keep it on and have him block everything, right? So for example, let me just try to pull this off from here. I wanna make sure that Hashogeki whiffs. See that? Just exactly like this. Exactly like this. This happens a lot of the times. Like because they're expecting the heavy Hashogeki. They're expecting to do this. They're expecting me to do this, and they want to perfect parry this, right? So what happens is, instead of doing the heavy Hashogeki, I'm gonna do the light one. I'm gonna walk. Once I see, this is our reaction. Once I see the blue, once I see that they have parried, I'll immediately walk up and grab, and I will get the perfect the punish counter of this. So this is also very, very good, because remember, even if this is blocked, it is still safe on block, and then you can do perfect parry afterwards to take their turn. So it's all like little mini games that you're playing with light Hashogeki, and it just allows for a lot of mix-ups on block and on whiff also, and on whiff. So yeah, the light Hashogeki is very, very good, and it also chips a lot of drive meter. But you can see like this also happens here. So even if you're doing a heavy punch from like really far away, this also can happen. You see that? This also can happen, right? So this is also very, very good. I really like light Hashogeki. I think it's one of the most useful things that Ryu has right now. When it comes to medium Hashogeki, unfortunately, there's not much to talk about. Medium Hashogeki is still, you know, -6 on block. So wait, hold on. Let's stop him from doing this. This is still -6 on block, so you can get punished. But the thing is that if you do it from like this range, it's not gonna be punishable. I think it does, yes, it does more chip damage than light Hashogeki. So if you're trying to chip somebody from here, like if you're doing like max range heavy punch like this is really good, because this is still a true block string. There's no gap. They cannot EXTP, they cannot perfect parry, they cannot drive impact. So it chips more than 1 bar of drive meter. So this is also very good. But the thing is, I use Hashogeki the most when the medium Hashogeki the most when I'm trying to level 3, but I'm not sure of the range. So for example, if I catch somebody like this, like from the tip, right? I would level 3. I would use this to level 3. I would use this to level 3. Because if I use medium donkey kick in this case, it would whiff. Like for example, see this would happen. So that's why I use medium Hashogeki. I believe it's the most consistent level 3 conversion, even though it adds more scaling. It doesn't do much damage. The same thing applies to the overhead combo. Now I just go for this if I want a level 3, because it's the most consistent one. I don't have to think so much. The problem with the problem with medium donkey kick is that this would whiff. You see that? That's the thing. But if I use medium Hashogeki in that exact same case, it would not whiff. So that's why I believe it's the most consistent, you know, level 3 conversion. That's the best way to put it. Medium Hashoki. That's the best way to put it. And also, there is also a good way to bait driving packs. If your opponent is always trying to driving pack the Hashogekis, what you can do is you can use medium Hashoki also, because driving pack, if you put driving pack over here and you count as 1, 2, let's make it 2, right? And have him block everything. So if you use heavy, you will get punish counter, right? But if you use the light one, the medium one, sorry, with crouching medium punch, this is so weird, right? This one, see that you get to recover. Crouching medium punch, like light punch, crouching medium punch, and then medium Hashoki, you will recover in time. If you use standing medium punch, you will not recover. I don't know why. You see that? You will not recover. Standing medium punch, you will not recover. Crouching medium punch, you will recover in time, and you will be able to drive back them back. If my character will release drive back, yeah. You see that? So you'd be able to bait the drive back this way. If you see that your opponent is trying to do this, even crouching medium kick will not work. You will get punish counter. So only crouching medium punch is the go-to follow-up, or the go-to button, and then you cancel it into medium Hashoki. You can get the bait for the drive back like that way, right? So that's medium Hashoki. The heavy one, it is the same. It is the same. It's said right now. It is you get when it's blocked, you will be able to be very close to the opponent. So when this happens, you can now grab. Before that, you were not able to, right? But now you are able to, and it chips. This is also actually very funny. You see that it chips the same amount of dry meter as the medium Hashoki. So look at this. It's like 1 bar and like 10% of the next bar, and the same thing happens with the medium one. So if you try to chip, you know, dry meter, and you're afraid of like perfect parries, afraid of like dry impacts, afraid of like DPs, this is very good. This is good. But you have to do it from like longer ranges. But this one would have the 9 frames, or how many? This is like 9 frames or 10 frames gap in between, which the opponent can interrupt, can press EXTP, can drive impact, can perfect parry it. A lot of people perfect parry this, so you have to be aware of that. But the thing is, you have to mix people up. If you condition people, maybe the first time you do this, they'll be like, oh, you're using the heavy one. So next time around, they're gonna try to parry. They can try to drive impact. They can try to do something. So that's when, you know, parry is the most common one. So that's when you do something like this, right? That's when you try to make the Hashoki whiff, like from here, like this, and then they will parry, and then you go and grab them, as I showed you before, right? So that's also one way. Even if the drive impact in this case, you will recover, and you will be able to drive impact them back. See that? So it's all about conditioning. The best thing about the heavy Hashoki is that you will be able to condition people, okay, in order to use the other versions of Hashoki more effectively in the match. You have to use this first. In my opinion, you have to use the heavy Hashoki first, one time, and then start using the light one. And maybe you can mix it up, maybe, right? Depending on the opponent. So that's one of the benefits. The other benefit is that, of course, it is +2 wall block, so you can grab them afterwards, even if they press light punch afterwards, immediately afterwards, like this, here, like look at this. You can grab them afterwards because you'll be one frame faster. You can press light punch, and as I said, you can also do the exact same thing as I showed you before. This one, which can catch people walking back, it can catch people pressing buttons. This is also very good. And you can shimmy afterwards, even if the opponent is you know, pressing a grab after blocking this, or maybe like a delayed tech throw. Even let's make it a grab, right? Let's make it like an instant grab. All right, that was too late. That's a little bit too late. That's a little bit too late. Don't have to dash back, just walk back, right? Even an instant one, an instant grab, it would work. And if it's delayed, of course, it will even work even better. Just walk back. Yes. But in this case, most people will just like try to delay the throw. They will not do an instant throw because they're afraid of you pressing buttons. If they grab immediately and you press buttons, you're gonna get a counter hit. You're gonna get a counter hit, right? Like this. So yeah, you have to be aware of that. So it's also another mix-up where you can add, you know, grab to it. You can add shimmy to it after they block the heavy Hashogeki, and you can catch them trying to walk back with the crouch and light kick, right? So all of these are like good options to use after the opponent blocks the heavy Hashogeki. If the opponent blocks a heavy Hashogeki, you should definitely continue your pressure. That is one great situation that Ryu wants to be in. The problem is before the Hashogeki comes out, because it's risky. So that's why you should not use it that much, in my opinion. You should be using it once just to condition people that I would do it. You would tell the people that I would do it, your opponent. Tell them that I would do it, but then they will start to do dry impact, they will start to do, you know, parry and stuff, and you know, you would use the light one instead. That's very good. One thing about the light one that I haven't mentioned, which is negative about the light one, is that after this happens, right? Let me just show you something. Yeah, if they respond with a throw, if they respond to this with a throw, right? Hold on. This actually messes up the whole thing. This actually messes up the whole thing because it doesn't mess it up that much, but if they grab, it is difficult for you because you're gonna be right in front of their face. So even if you block, you're getting grabbed, right? If you press a button, you are getting grabbed. If I press a button in this case, I'm getting grabbed, right? Because it's -3, it's not plus. So the only option that you have over here is to, if you see that your opponent is grabbing, your option is to grab, right? Your option is to grab. So, but if you grab immediately, what if they press a button afterwards? What if they go and they press a button instead of the grab, right? So if they, I'm telling you all this because this happens in a match. This happens against strong players. It does happen. People will figure this out, they know. If I grab immediately and they go for the light punch, and I'm in trouble over here. So what happens is, I would go for a delayed tech throw, right? I would go for a delayed tech throw. But what is the problem with delayed tech throw is that they can shimmy me. They can walk back and wait for the delayed tech throw, right? So if they walk back and they shimmy me, it's over. So I told you this is like an entire mini game that you will be playing with your opponent, and these are all of the options that happens. But even though there is this negative thing about it, you can still play around it. You can still have a very good success rate. It is still very powerful, and will still keep the opponent guessing because they're not sure whether that delayed or whether that, you know, walk back would actually work, right? So there's also that. So we covered the light, the medium, the heavy. You know, what else is there? The dungeon one. The dungeon one is also nice. I think the nicest thing about the dungeon is of course the combos. You can do the combos. You know, this, and then you do the tatsu, or even like in the corner you can get like a safe jump like this, right? And it's really satisfying. Also, like, the nice thing about it is now you can do crouching heavy kick or crouching medium kick and get this, right? Or even get this, like with the heavy one, right? And then tatsu. So you can also do something of this sort instead of you having to spend the three bars. Instead of you doing this and you spend 3 bars, why not just go for this and spend 1 bar only, right? It's the same exact thing. It's the same exact, almost the same exact damage. 226, right? And you have more damage. You see that? And you're spending only 1 bar. So that's also one very strong thing about the Denjin Hashogeki. And the nice thing now is that once you have Denjin, you can still use the light one. You can still use the medium one, which is very, very good. Enables you to like still bait, you know, fireballs, and do the entire thing that we talked about in the light Hashogeki, you know, section. But with the Denjin one, this still has a big gap. Unfortunately, still has a big 6-frame gap. This, hold up, this I believe this does not have a a gap in between at all. So this is also very good. But would you use this just to chip the damage, just chip the drive meter? I don't think that you should do this, but I think you should do this just for the ability to grab afterwards. If you do it from here, it's gonna whiff, but if you do it from like close range, it's gonna be very good. But of course, you can still do it with the non-Denjin version. So there's also that. So is this really beneficial? I don't really think so. I think Denjin, this one is good from here, because even if you want to spend meter, like look at this, I'll show you this combo. Look at this. Like look at this. This is like meterless conversion to level 3, which is very nice. I believe also you can do level 1. Hold on. I can't do anything today. So you can also do that. You can also do level 2. This is very useful. You know, it has a lot of use cases. Hashogeki has a lot. You know, the Denjin Hashogeki has a lot of use cases. Also, like you can. Sorry, you can also do this kind of combo. Hold up. Wait, I'll show you. As I showed you before, right? This is also very useful if you don't want to spend the meter. The heavy Hashogeki is really nice, and of course you can get it in the corner. You can get like you know, safe jumps in the corner with it very easily. You don't have to spend a lot of meter. I told you guys I can't do combos today. You can do this and then you can get a safe jump. So this is also very good with Denjin. Of course, the EX one or the OD one is the star of the show, because this one does the same exact thing, but it allows you to do a lot more damage. It extends your combos. Look at that. You're able to like reach the corner if you do this from mid-screen. See that? You reach the corner and you did this full entire combo, which is gonna kill him. So Denjin is really good. The EX one, it is a nice confirm, especially when you're able to do it from like a heavy punch like that. You can definitely do this on reaction. See if the heavy punch has hit or not, and then you can do the Denjin afterwards. And of course you can do level 2 like this. Look at that. Hold up. And then charge the level 2. And get the corner carry, and your plus over here. You can't wake up press anything, right? You can also do that. Even if this is like very close to the corner. Hold up, let me just stop him from recording or doing the recordings. If this happens, let's say from here. You can drive rush and then get the kill with the rest of the combo. So this is also very useful for corner carry, for like, you know, getting more damage from your level 2. Denjin is extremely really good, or the EX version is very good in that regard, because it does help you have a viable level 2. So I think Denjin and the heavy and the light one are my favorite ones. First thing first, top one, the light Hashogeki. The second one is the EX Denjin Hashogeki. And the third one is the heavy Hashogeki, in my opinion. These are the nice, you know, Hashogekis that Ryu has. And of course, like, you can do this from like medium punches, and you can just do this and get the corner carry instead of using 3 bars. You're using 2 bars this way, and because you're doing the combo, you gain also half a bar. So otherwise you would be using a combo like this, right? Otherwise you would be using a combo like this. So that's 3 bars. So over there you're spending 2 bars, which is more efficient, which enables you to, you know, get, you know, corner carry, get, you know, good damage without having to go in burnout. Maybe you will go in burnout maybe in the next interaction or something like that. So this could actually save your behind. I like EX Hashogeki. It's really nice. The other thing is it is very easy to see what's happening, and you can delay the decision making afterwards. So if this happens, I don't have to like dash up. I can immediately just do this. I can do something like this. Right, I can do this, but if I want to like delay the thinking process a little bit, I can still wait until the character just drops, and I can still get the level 3, you know. Maybe I changed my mind and I was like, nah, just the corner carry, right? Corner carry and the Oki after. So this is also very helpful. And as I said, you can also do it from this. Instead of the 3 bars, you can spend 2 bars, and that's very useful. The last one we're gonna talk about just quickly is the EX Hashogeki without Denjin, which is the most underwhelming one, to say the least. This one, I think the best thing about this is that it chips a lot of dry meter, and it's quick. So if you use this one, if you use the crouching heavy punch, which is now Ryu's, I believe it's Ryu's most button that does chip damage. So if you use this, look at that, it's actually burning meter in half, and it is a full block string. Even with the heavy one, it is a full block string, but this is doing like less chip damage. But this is doing a bar and a half, and it is a full block string, so they cannot interrupt you while you're doing this. This could be really good when you're trying to take somebody to burnout. And the nice thing is, because Ryu players, they don't ever use this. Nobody ever uses this, right? People don't realize that it's plus. People don't realize that it's +3, right? They only think that this is plus. They only think that the Denjin one is plus, right? Because nobody uses this, they will not think it's +3, and they will mash afterwards. And this happens to me a lot. People will mash light punch afterwards. So if they press a button like here, you will get the counter hit. So you can do something like this. Sorry. See that? You will get the counter hit. So people don't think that this is plus. The way that Ryu's, you know, sounds when he ends the combo, it doesn't seem like it's something that is plus, but it is actually +3 on block. So even you can get a grab in here if you have the range. But I think even if he doesn't press anything, you will not have the range. Okay. Even with the medium punches, you will not have the range, right? So you'll have to micro walk a little bit. Just a micro walk to then you can grab them. So there are benefits to this. I would only use this if I am trying to chip somebody. I would use it this way, right? Just to try to chip them. Because if I use this, I'm punishable. I'm -6. And if I use this, right, my turn ends. So we get to the whole, you know, mini game that we talked about, right? Maybe I don't want to do that. Maybe I went through that mini game a lot of times, and I don't want to go through it anymore. So I would just use this, which is a new minigame because I'm +3 right now, so they have to think about my follow-up. So there's also that. Maybe I don't want to use this one because there's a big gap. I might get perfect parry, I might get driving impacted, I might get interrupted. You get that? So I would use this just to get the chip damage, the dry meter chip, and still be plus afterwards. Yes, I spent 2 bars, but I think it's a good trade-off. It's a good trade-off. And there's also one more thing. If this actually hits, if you get a raw EX Hashogeki hit, it is actually +7, right? So if this happens, you're +3 only, so that means that you cannot combo. You cannot press anything afterwards. Nothing will combo from this. But if you do like a raw one, is what? Isn't this +3? Isn't this supposed to be +7? What? What? Is this on wake up? Or is it counter hit? Maybe okay, that was counter hit. That was counter hit. Okay, I found this out like, you know, a few days ago. Bruce told me about this and I was like, wow, that's amazing. And then yeah, it's counter hit. It's counter hit. If it's counter hit, you'll get the light kick. If it's counter hit, you'll get the light kick, okay? Not regular hit. Right? So if somebody just does not block, you will not get the light kick afterwards. But if you get a counter hit from this, like let's say that they mash immediately, I don't know, maybe they press a medium kick after this one. Let me just show you. You see, like this scenario, right? You would get a light kick in this case. You would get something like this. This is like one thing. If you see a counter hit from the EX Hashogeki, if you're trying to like you know, chip somebody and they just press something in between and you get a counter hit, you can get the light kick afterwards. So I wonder who told you that. I just said Bruce. So anyways, so yeah, these are the versions of Hashogeki. I think, you know, the light one is the most useful one in my opinion. It is the best one so far. But you have to be aware of when is it your turn, when is it not your turn, and whether you want to steal a turn or you don't want to steal a turn. Because if you do one thing every single time, you just repeat this exact same thing every single time, people will realize the counters and you will be exposed and you'll get countered, right? So you want to keep things moving, you want to mix things up, you want to change things up. I suggest, my opinion is, start first of all with the heavy one, and then condition people with, you know, then after you condition people with the heavy one, try to do the light one instead, and that way people will get messed up. They will not know what to do afterwards. You can bait the parry, you can bait the dry impact and everything like that. So even with the light kick like this, I love this. I love this so much. Look at that, it's always whiffing, which is really nice. Because if they press anything, if they light punch, if they like perfect parry or dry impact or something like that, you can counter it with walk up grab, with dry impact, with even if they delay the button, you can take their turn like this. You see, that's a little fake loop, but yeah, there are a lot of use cases for the light Hashogeki. It's really nice. So light Hashogeki can be easily reacted with perfect parry. You know, not everybody is a parry in, you know, machine like you. I don't see people perfect parrying you know, light Hashogeki. Like from all of my matches ever since season 2 started, I think maybe my light Hashogeki got parried maybe 5 times. Ever since, you know, we're not talking about wake up, the setup. We're not talking about this. We're not talking about this. I'm not talking about this one. I'm talking about in block strings, right? In block strings, maybe ever since season 2 has started, maybe it got perfect parried maybe 4 or 5 times. That's it. Heavy Hashogeki, of course, it does get perfect parried a lot, but the light one, no. And the light one, you know, if somebody is perfect parrying you, if somebody's trying to react to the perfect parry, that's what I'm saying. It's actually, that's what you want. That is exactly what you want. You want to bait that by doing something like this. Or to debate that by doing something like this. And if your opponent is not going for a perfect parry in this scenario, go for the heavy one. So then you can condition them to be like, oh, he's not afraid of using the heavy one. Let me try a perfect parry. Or let me try to drive it back, right? So now you use the light one again. It's all like it's all a mix-up. It's all a mix-up. It's all like a mini game that you have to play, and it is very useful. It's very useful. It's difficult to drive to perfect parry this, and even if your opponent is always going for perfect parries, try to do it from a long block string where it would whiff. Don't do it from like a close block string. right? Do it from a long block swing, like, you know, after maybe like blocking like several things, like boom, boom, something of this sort, right? So, because even if they try to grab from here, they cannot grab you immediately. They have to walk up and grab. So there's also that. There's also that. So yeah, this is it. This is the Hashogeki guide. If you guys found this helpful, because this is going on YouTube, by the way. If you guys found this helpful, leave a like, comment down below if what else do you guys want to learn about Ryu. And I'll see you guys in the next time.